back, and but we did a little walkthrough on Monday, but 2 practices Tuesday and today, and just they bounced back. So that's exciting to see. A couple guys got dinged up yesterday, but they were back out here today. Connor and Najee. And then Andre James hasn't practiced for 2 days. He was out here today, but he got hit in the head, and they're going through the concussion protocol to make sure that he's okay. And but he looked good today out here running and doing all those things. And he said he felt really, really well, and he finished the game. So we'll see. But like always, we'll just be safe with regards to the decision there. So just always exciting to see these guys come back. They're resilient and they want to get better, and they're working hard at it. So that's kind of it.
We've known that the running backs have been kind of dinged up for a while now. What's their kind of status right
now? Sosa's been fighting a shoulder and a knee, the tendonitis, all year. But he's fought through it, and he's working hard. And Bolu, has had some things. Nate, they all have. That's kind of the nature of the job. And but those 3 guys are all available, and we'd like to find an opportunity to get Brandon and Jalen the ball. It's hard. It's hard to get 5 running backs the ball. You saw last week we kind of featured Soso, and he ran for 79 yards, I think. You take away the sack yards and you take away the snap, so that makes your rush yards look bad. But he ran okay, and I think he's going to get better and better. So every week you kind of try to figure out who's got the hot hand or who kind of fits the scheme that you're running. They all have different styles, and get that guy in and get him going.
What flavor cheesecake did you bring, Josh?
I didn't even check the flavor. I think it was like a chocolate, I don't know. It was from, we went to the Cheesecake Factory. He liked tiramisu, brought up some tiramisu, some cheesecake, and then his 2 favorite ice creams are chocolate chip mint and cookies and cream. So we had a little smorgasbord over at his house the other night. It was fun, and he and I got to sit and talk for well over an hour, just the 2 of us, about his path back to the top, which is where he wants to be. And I was really impressed with his energy and his frame of mind. It was encouraging to me, very encouraging to me. And a lot of times when someone gets injured and they miss games, and they're not out here competing with their teammates and their friends and the guys they really care about, it offers a new and fresh perspective on just how lucky they are to play this sport. And I'm not saying that was necessarily the case, but I sensed a little bit out of Josh, and so I think sometimes that inspires you to take a step to the next level, and that would be certainly something that would be great for us.
Did you get an idea of kind of what he wants his role to be with the team going forward, at least this season?
I did, yeah. He asked me if he could be on the sidelines this Saturday, and I would love him to be on the sidelines if it's safe. I might have to sign a couple of the backup offensive linemen or defensive linemen to stand near him and, just collapse on him if the ball comes close to him. But I'm going to leave that up to the doctors and the medical team, and the worst thing that we could ever do is, just because he wants to be on the sideline, help him, put him there, and then he gets hit. That wouldn't be a good thing. But I know that he's desperate to get out here and help where he can and be another set of eyes for Mike and offer him that support that he's always offered him when he's been on the field.
You had him on the headset for a few games when he was on the sideline. How helpful is that, just to have one extra guy watching the game? And
he was listening more than talking, and it was good for him. I think it's always good for a player, and especially a quarterback, to really kind of hear the communication that goes on and the decisions that are made before each play on why you're going to run a play. And then, post-play, like, oh, we needed to see the mic there. We needed, we got the post route, before the snap. We got it. And you'll see it from the sideline, and maybe the quarterback sees it or maybe it doesn't. So I think it just offers, once again, another perspective for the quarterback. But he really didn't have any input. It was just more information gathering for him, and I thought it was really helpful. So, anytime we can do that, if we can do it the next, 3, hopefully 4 games, then we'll do that.
You talked earlier about going with Molson and Kent. Is that just kind of recommitting to the guys that you brought here to do a job, and now you're just going to let them kind of work through whatever they go through?
Well, it's recommitting, but it's also, we kind of backed them off, both of them. They both came in and they were good early, and then when school started, they hit a little bit of a wall, and it's not unusual for that to happen with freshmen. We're a quarter school, and so you get a few games under your belt, and then all of a sudden school hits you, and all your responsibilities change. This is a very challenging school. It's obviously a great academic opportunity for them, But I've seen it before. I remember seeing it with Kaimi when he was a freshman too. He went kind of through the same thing. We didn't have the luxury with Kaimi of kind of just giving him a chance to step back and regroup. We did this year, and now I think it's time with 3, hopefully 4 games left to let those guys go out and just play free and get better. And I saw this week, we've kicked twice this week, we've punted once, and I saw tremendous improvement. In JJ's kickoffs today, they were great. His extra points or his field goals, because we really don't kick extra points, but his field goals were solid. Austin came out here today, and he looked like we were back in San Bernardino, booming them. So I think sometimes it's important for these young guys that are, forget they're 18 years old and they've got a lot on their plate to give them some help, and sometimes that help means backing off a little bit.
Talked a little bit about your running backs. Oregon State has a pretty dynamic athlete back there. What have you seen on film from Null?
Well, he and Victor both, he's big. He's a 235-pound load. He runs hard, and we have tremendous respect for him. And obviously, he's a guy that you better stop. And you're not going to arm tackle him. You got to get bodies and multiple bodies on him. And the best thing you can do with a big guy like that is try to make him bounce and not get a downhill run. We've done a decent job this year, minus the Utah game against the run, and they hit those long ones. So I think that we know how to play the run. It's just a matter of executing. And then with Bolden, he's just dynamic as a kick returner, as a punt returner. You kind of have to play Where's Waldo with him on offense because they use him in so many different spots. So they've got some explosive guys.
I know obviously you want to win for everybody, but I mean, especially the gutty job that Mike Faithful has done stepping in. How nice would it be to get a win, to reward him for what he's done?
It'd be great, and I think a lot of guys feel that towards him. It's interesting you asked that question because that was kind of my thought today. Is God, of course we want to win. Our goal is to win. Our goal is to win and get ourselves in position to play in a bowl. But to a guy like Mike who's been here for 5 years and he's worked so hard and he's done such a great job and he's been such a good teammate and team member and positive influence around here, to give him a chance to have a few wins in the win column when people open his record book in a few years would be really great.
He's been here as long as you've been here. What have you seen as far as his growth and just maturity and?
Well, he came in as a freshman walk-on, had a great deal of maturity. You recognized right off the bat that he could throw the ball, but he was behind Brett Hundley, and Jerry, and then we bring in Josh, and so, I think there's a lot of young men that maybe, as I said earlier, moved on. He's a graduate. He could have gone somewhere and played his 5th year, but he loves it here, and he's been a great teammate. And I've just seen him develop into a guy that he's playing with a lot of confidence. I think his teammates have a great deal of respect for him because of the way that he has approached his opportunities here, and hung in there. So, I'm excited about him, and I want to see him go out there and play well, and us play well around him and get a win.
All right.
Okay.